Welcome to another VeVe Digital Collectibles video. I'm Corey, and I'm here with none other than Dan Crothers, co-founder and COO of VeVe. And today we're talking all about the VeVeVerse, and not just the VeVeVerse, but the highly anticipated VeVeVerse mobile experience. With that said, Dan, how are you doing today?
Doing very well. Thanks, Corey. It's a beautiful Monday here in New Zealand, and excited to talk about the mobile app.
Me too. And really, the VeVeVerse has been the talk around the virtual water coolers at VeVe. I don't think there's a day where I log in for work where I don't see someone sharing some video or some photos, or you sharing, wow, look at this cool space. Tell me a little bit about this transition we've went through, because it's been up in the air, now it's been out, got a lot of people downloading and enjoy it. What's it feel like, Dan?
Honestly, it's amazing. I mean, the quality of content that people are putting out, I mean, the talent, like I had an idea in my mind of how, the cool spaces people might make, but I mean, some of our users out there are just, they actually should have been architects or something in their real life, because it's amazing what they can do. So super encouraging, just the level of detail people are going to, the things that they are finding. I mean, I saw one the other day, which was a house, and then someone's used the sliding doors to go down a sliding pole into Batcave. Like, I mean, it's just, it's amazing. So I'm really, really happy with the response so far.
Absolutely. You got to love it. And that's really what VeVe has always been about. It's about taking those collectibles, giving an environment where you can buy and sell them, and a place where you can collaboratively share those. Prior to this, we've had augmented reality, where you could place those, be with your collectibles, in the real world, or share them in the real world. And we had showrooms were built into the mobile experience, where you had a vault space and you can decorate that. And really, the VeVeVerse is the next natural evolution of that, where we're allowing you to not only build an amazing world, but invite a lot of people into it. With that being said, it's all about the VeVeVerse mobile experience, highly anticipated. Talk to me a little bit about what some of the core experiences that the VeVeVerse mobile is going to provide to people, Dan.
We've really tried to make sure that we are still offering all of the core features that are in the desktop app. So you've got things like all your social stuff, all your build and creative tools, obviously the explore mode. We've got all the different templates, space templates that you can use. So overall, it's really a similar experience to the desktop. However, there are some limitations just because it's on a mobile device, and those limitations are more around the amount of collectibles you might be able to have in a specific space, or how big you make that space. I mean, I know I've seen some desktop spaces that probably take 10 minutes to walk from point A to point B. Obviously the mobile devices just aren't really designed to handle that kind of load. However, in saying that, we are constantly looking at ways that we can optimize our 3D assets in the back end, and really will be working to sort of improve that over time. But in saying that, you can still set up an awesome space. You're still going to have all the creative tools, whether it's simple shapes or ability to add your collectibles, add your comics, invite other people in. So it's really that same experience, but in mobile format.
It's really, really exciting to hear, Dan. And from what I understand, we're going to get to see a little bit of that mobile experience. So let's go ahead and let you get that boated up, and let's talk through the mobile experience a little bit, and then we'll dive into some of the nitty gritty around it. All right, Dan, I see you've got the mobile experience loaded up. Sort of walk us through what to expect. This looks really, really similar if you're using that desktop version. What are some of the cool features? Just kind of roll us through this thing.
Absolutely. So, for those of you familiar with the desktop app, obviously you will see we've got the main categories across the top here, the main space categories. So all of the spaces, whether that's yours or ones that have been invited to, the spaces that I've created, any active spaces, and obviously just the latest or newest spaces that either you've created or you've been invited to. We can also go through and update our avatar in a very similar way to the desktop. So here is my avatar from Ready Player Me, or if I don't have that, I can use the built-in system avatar, which is still got some minor customization, but nowhere near as cool as the Ready Player Me. So I'm gonna stick with that one. We can also search for any space, very similar to the desktop version. And we can create, all of our different spaces. So I can basically just enter the space name, select the space template, and then dive into the space. So I've already created a space, so I'm just going to dive in here to show you. So let me just load this one up.
Using our very cool Villa space, which was a freebie that kind of popped up out of nowhere. I think people are really excited to see that one roll in, Dan.
Yeah, it's very cool. So you can see here that, we've got a couple of main options across the top here. So we've really sort of simplified the UI a bit in the mobile experience, just given that it still has a lot of the features, but it's not as complex as the desktop app. So I'm currently in explore mode now. So obviously I can use this to sort of walk around.
He's screen sharing on his computer for those of you watching, as opposed to using his mobile phone. Normally using his thumbs, I'm pretty sure, to navigate. So bear with us as we use a mouse pointer, but super, super cool. I very much like this navigation. Very similar to our interactive collectibles that we released that are drivable.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good point, Corey. With the navigation of the VeVeVerse, we've tried to keep that as close as possible to what people are used to experiencing in our existing showrooms, because I know that people who are a big fan of the existing showrooms, we want the transition to be fairly similar for them. So right now I'm in explore mode. You'll see I've got my avatar here, and in explore mode, surprise, surprise, I can explore. That's what I can do. So I can walk around the house and all of that. Okay, so here we are in the build mode here, and we've got an option down the side here to add content. So I'm just going to tap that, and I'm going to go into my collectibles. Now, let's just scroll down and find
so
something.
many to pick from. Which one will you go for?
So many, and I brought so many collectibles since I've been playing in the VeVeVerse. It's quite crazy. I did get some of the Star Wars ones recently.
Make a Star Wars fan happy, which I am one. Yeah, the 7K PR droid. I like that. The Homestead release with all the droids. Love that one. We made a cool video for that one too. Yeah,
exactly. It's a cool. There's so much cool Star Wars content as well for people to be able to build out their items. Their spaces. Okay, so we've got one of the collectibles added here. Now, as you can see, when I click on a collectible, I get all of the options available for this particular one. And in this case, we can move. So very similar to what people will be used to, both in the existing showrooms and also on the desktop version of the VeVeVerse. I can obviously scale these items up. I mean, look at the detail on that. It's beautiful. Love it. Of course, it's not that big in real life. And I can also go into, just scale mode. This option will be available, if you enter a simple shape and you want to squish it. And then obviously we've got the rotate in there as well. And lastly, you can delete the item if you don't want it in there. So we can see that, the whole process is very similar and very familiar to what the desktop users are used to. And also the users who use our existing virtual showrooms as well. Finally, we have the social mode down the side. The mic's not showing up here just purely because I'm doing a screen share from my phone. But we've got things like, the chat option where we can chat with anybody else that's in the space. And then we've got the space access where I can type in somebody's username. Again, unfortunately, I can't do this because I'm on the desktop here.
Of course.
And you can add other people and invite other people into the space to do, whether it's collaborative building or you just want to hang out or whatever. So in terms of the, the core features to be able to explore space, you can build your spaces, you can be social in your spaces. We've got all of the main sort of functionality, and just using those things, you can add everything from your bookshelves or tables or whatever, so you can set up your showroom in the way you want.
So that's really, really cool, Dan. I think people are going to be really excited with that. I think those controls and those functionalities are really familiar, so it's going to be really simple for you to switch from that desktop to the mobile experience. Now, whenever we started this, you talked about those are some of the core features. We want to make sure that the core functionalities were there for the mobile users, but there were some limitations. You put in one droid. Let's say you just started relentlessly adding droids. You're making a droid army. Is there going to be some sort of notification to someone that's doing that to be like, hey, you're getting close to, a build limit kind of thing?
Yes, absolutely. So unlike the desktop, obviously, which is significantly more powerful, the way that the VeVeVerse mobile app is going to work is in two ways. If you try to load a space, so let's say you try to load a space that has been built on desktop and is quite complicated, you're actually going to get a message on screen to say that the space is too big to run on your device. And that's obviously going to depend on if you have the latest iPhone 16 or the latest Android, or if your phone is a number of years old, the limitations will be fairly different. And then secondly, if you are in a space and you're creating a space, and you are continuously building up this droid army, you're going to get an alert to say that if you continue to add items, the performance of that space may suffer on your device. So it's just a way for you as the builder or creator to understand how far you can push these spaces, because as we know, Corey, people have created limitless worlds, which is amazing for desktop. But obviously a little bit more restricted on mobile.
Understood. And let's also talk about the social element, because I think that's one of the key factors of the VeVeVerse. With the showroom experience on the mobile app, you have your personal vault, and you can build within it, but you can't invite other people into that. For the mobile side of the VeVeVerse, is it the same limitations in terms of how many people you can invite into that space?
It's basically the same as the desktop. And unlike the existing showrooms, you can all be in there in a multi-user co-presence environment. So let's say you've hired somebody to create your space, and they're in there, and perhaps you want to project manage it, like I want that shelf over there or this shelf over there. You can have that audio, and you can have the chat, and you can have the obviously the multiple people in there for you to converse with.
Who would have thought that the VeVeVerse would eventually become an interior design, virtual warehouse? But that's what it is, and I think we're all here for it, and we are loving it. And those interior designers that are loving this VeVeVerse experience are probably wondering, where are some of these collectibles? And I understand that there has been some time constraints in making sure that those collectibles are polished and ready. So talk to me a little bit about timelines. When can people start expecting more collectibles, and also the VeVeVerse mobile experience?
Yep. So we've been, I guess for the two parts to that question. So number one, for the collectibles, getting them loaded into the VeVeVerse, the production team is really churning through them each week, a number of items each week. And I don't know if we're doing it yet, Corey, but maybe something that we can do is start to, push out each week or so, what new collectibles are in there, because
absolutely,
we all know on desktop, they look just absolutely amazing. So it's almost a whole different kind of experience looking at the collectibles in the VeVeVerse. And then secondly, on the release of the mobile app, the team has been working really hard to get the product ready and live. And as you've seen from the video, it's all pretty much there. We've just got a couple of minor things left to do over the next few weeks. We were hoping to have it ready today, but I made the call for the team to reprioritize to address the app speed issues. I really just thought that was more important, and great job to the team to get that
absolutely
that speed up a bit more functional. So yeah, over the next week or 2 weeks or so, we're going to start pushing it out, and during that time we might put out some more previews and some more images, and maybe some more tutorials. I mean, most of it's kind of the same, and it's a lot more intuitive in the VeVe app. You explore, you build, you socialize, you use the joysticks. So it won't be as complex as the desktop version.
An important thing to mention is that with anything new that we release, we are always looking for feedback. And we've made ourselves available in a lot of different ways for you all to provide that feedback. You can use the VeVe.me corner widget, you can use socials, you can join any of our Discord groups. All of the feedback that's provided, when this does release and you're using it and you're finding weird bugs or issues with loading or anything at all, make sure you communicate that so our teams can get on top of sort of triaging. This is, a breaking sort of bug, and this is just a creature comfort that we really want to get fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. And Corey, I'd also just like to say, the desktop version, that's been around for a while. We've had the beta testers in there for a long time using it. They've helped us find a whole lot of small bugs and issues in the platform that we've been managed to resolve. But with the VeVeVerse Mobile, there's a lot of new development that's gone into this. Mostly around the UI and the experience. You can see it's a very different kind of experience from the desktop app. So, I can't guarantee it's going to be perfect straight off the bat. What I want to do is really get it out to you guys, to the community, so we can pick up those things a lot quicker. If thousands of people are using it instead of me and the VeVeVerse team, we're going to pick those things up. So in these sort of early days, if you do experience some issues, number one, we're going to get some kind of report in the background so we know what's happened. But I just ask everyone if they can be a little bit patient with us as we work through this. I mean, same as any feature we roll out on VeVe, it starts off kind of as an MVP, minimum viable product, and then we just sort of evolve it together with your feedback and all the feedback from our internal team.
Absolutely. Continuous improvement and innovation are always our top priority. With all that being said, I think we've covered everything we need to cover with this one. Dan, really appreciate you taking the time to demo that out for us. And until we see you all in the next VeVeVerse video, happy collecting.